Good morning, everyone, and welcome you all to my class. Today, we are going to see a very interesting topic that is about immunosuppressant drugs. This is Achintya Sharma from BSc Nursing Second Year, BCM College of Nursing. So, I'm going to present my topic on immunosuppressant drugs. So, first, we will see the introduction. Immunosuppressive drugs, also known as immunosuppressive agents. Immunosuppressants and anti-rejection medications are drugs that inhibit to prevent activity of the immune system. It inhibits and prevents the activity of our immune system, is which is the defense mechanism of our body. Immunosuppressant drugs are a class of drugs that suppress or reduce the strength of the body's immune system. It gives a strength to the body immune system so that the body can fight with the foreign objects such as liver, heart, or kidney. These drugs are called anti-rejection drugs. This we will know after. What do we mean by the anti-rejection? Means if any part of the body is transplanted, any organ of the body is transplanted like liver, heart, or kidney. So according to the according to the immune system, that particular part, that particular part of the body is a foreign object. So the body should reject this object or harm. So to make the immune system, make the immune system strong, which helps in proper functioning of the transplanted organ. The immune system is essential for fighting infection and disease. But if your immune system is too active, it can harm the body rather than protect it. Immunosuppressant medicines lower the activity of your immune system. Medicines such as cyclosporin and mycophenolate can be used after organ transplantation. These are the two medicines which are used after the organ transplantation to prevent the rejection of organ. That we said previously that rejection is what is rejection? Rejection is when the body do not support the transplanted organ, or it can reject the functions of the organs. Disease modifying anti-rheumatic drugs DMARDs such as leufonamide and penicillamine are used to manage rheumatoid arthritis and autoimmune diseases that cause pain and restricted movement. These type of arthritis, sorry, uh, these medicines are used to to these medicines are used in the autoimmune diseases that cause pain, restricted movement, rheumatoid arthritis, and all, due to which the people or the person is not able to move. Then types of immunosuppressants. Immunosuppressant are drugs or medicine that lower the body's ability to reject to reject a transplanted organ. These are the drugs which gives a ability to the body, which gives a ability to the immune system of the body to accept that transplanted organ. Another term of these drugs is anti-rejection, as we seen previously. There are two types of immunosuppressant. First is induction drugs and second is maintenance drugs. Powerful anti-rejection medicines used at the time of transplantation. What are the induction drugs? These are the drugs or the medicines which are used at the time of transplantation. These medicines are very powerful. Then next one is maintenance drug, anti-rejection medications used for the long term. These are the anti-rejection medication that used for the long term after the transplantation of the organ. Then next we are going to see the classification of immunosuppressant. So there are four classes of maintenance drug. These are the maintenance drugs. Means these drugs, these are those drugs which we use for the long time after the organ transplantation. So there are four classifications, that is calcineurin inhibitors, anti-proliferative agents, motor inhibitor, and steroids. These are some examples. Then this is the mechanism action of immunosuppressants. In this picture, we are able to see that this is a DNA synthesis, which is IMRDH, that is in which helps in gaining the strength of the immune system, which gives the strength to the immune system. And these are the medicines which react on the DNA synthesis and which gives a proper structure or proper defense mechanism to the body. So what are the immunosuppressants used for? So next is, when you get a organ transplant, your body knows that a new organ is a foreign. That I have said previously. When you get a organ transplant, according to your body, the organ is a foreign. That is not original part of your body. Your body will attack to the new organ and try to damage or destroy it. Like if we got some infection or some disease to our body, that is also like a foreign object. So against that disease or against that infection, our body attack to that particular disease. So same same here, that when we transplant our organ to the body, according to the body, the new organ is a foreign particle. So the body will try to attack on the new organ or try to damage or destroy it. So the immunosuppressant drug suppresses your body's ability to do this. So what the immunosuppressant drug do? It suppress the ability of body to do this. The goal is to adjust these drugs to prevent rejection and to minimize the side effect of drugs. Like after the organ transplantation, we can use a maintenance drug to maintain the proper functioning of the transplanted organ. So what immunosuppressant do? It adjusts it adjusts the drugs so that the body will not attack or not damage to the new organ, or can prevent the rejection and minimize the side effect of the drugs to the new transplanted organ. So does everyone who gets a new transplant does everyone who gets a new transplant have to take immunosuppressants? Almost everyone who has a transplant must take these drugs every day as directed. So these drugs are very essential. So everyone has to take it after, if you are undergoing the any organ transplantation. If your new organ came from an identical twin, however, you may not have to take them. If you got a new organ from your identical twin, so it is not necessary to take them. Even missing a single dose may take it more likely for you to have a rejection. These are the very important drugs. So if you miss a single dose, it can throw you into the trouble. The only time you should skip a dose if your doctor or healthcare team member tells you to do so. You can understand easily. So if you want to skip, or if you have any problem, you can consult your doctor. He or she will tell you about that. If you are not sure, call your doctor. Also, when you have a clinical visit, you should not take your immunosuppressant medicines until your blood is drawn from lab work. Before taking the immunosuppressant medicines, you must have go through the blood test. Next, because of the large number of pills you may need to take each day, forgetting a dose is easy to do. You can do three things to help you remember about medicines. First, know the name of each drug you can take and what it does. If you have a good understanding of your drugs, you will be less likely to forget it, as these drugs are very important. If you have the organ transplantation, then it is very important to remember to take medicines. So there are the three steps which help you to remember your medicines. And then second is use a pill box or organizer. You can use a medicine box or a organizer who remind you about your medicines. This allow you to set up an entire week of pill. Once the week is set up, all you have to do is take a pill in each on the right day and time. You can use this to your patients. If you are taking care of any patient and he's on under through the organ transplantation, so you can use a pill box or a organizer, so you will also not forget, and the patient will get the medicine at right time. take Try to take your medicine at the same time every day. So next, are there any signs or symptom I should watch for? So yes, even though you are taking your medicines every day, you may still develop rejection of the organ transplantation. Sometimes it happens that if you are taking medicines every day, then also you have developed some sign and symptoms, or does develop some rejection of the organ transplantation. You need to know your body very well. It is very important to know that what your body requires in how much amount. So if you have any of the following, you should call your transplant center right away. A fever above 100 degree, tenderness of your new organ. If you have any new organ and you are having some pain or tenderness, bloody urine in case of kidney transplantation, when if your kidney was transplanted. So if you are having this bloody urine, you can call to your transplant center. Weight gain more than 3 pounds in 2 days. So these weight gain is one of the property of the immunosuppressant drugs. It helps it if the people is taking the immunosuppressant drug, it automatically helps the patient to get a more weight day by day. So the last one is the transplant center will probably ask you to have some blood test and maybe other tests. So blood test is important, and maybe other tests are asked by the transplant center. The long-term success of your organ transplant depends upon the largely on careful follow-up and good working relationship between you and your transplantation team. So these are some sign and symptoms which we have to watch for. So there are some side effects of immunosuppressant. These are the drugs which have side effects more than the effects. But these drugs are very important for our body if you have any organ transplantation. So one of the major side effect of the corticosteroids is osteoporosis. Corticosteroids comes under the classification of immunosuppressant drugs. Osteoporosis is when the density of your bone is decreased, increase the risk of fracture any bone in your body that can be affected. However, fracture are most commonly seen in the hip, spine, or wrist. So, the first side effect of this immunosuppressant corticosteroid drugs are osteoporosis. As we all know, osteoporosis is when the density of your bone decreases. It can increase when the density of your bone decreases. It can increase the risk of fracture. Then, several immunosuppressant medications have been linked to a decrease in muscle function. It can also decrease a muscle function. So, tacrolimus and cyclosporin derived medication have been linked to delay in muscle. If you are taking these two medicines, it may be that your muscle contraction will delay or decrease in coordination between different type of muscle fiber to efficiently contract and relax, and a decrease in adaptability of muscle fiber to change to meet the demands we place upon the muscle. If like example, if the two muscle fibers are continuously relaxing or contracting with each other, with each other, and we are we are more we are taking more effort to do the particular work through the help of the muscle, so it can decrease the muscle function or can damage your muscles. So the next is corticosteroids also adversely affect upon muscle fiber, particularly the type of two muscle fiber that contract rapidly to produce immediate force, that is immediate force or power, so we can respond quickly. Sometimes we have to use two muscle fibers or two or more muscle fibers to for the immediate result, for the immediate force which can respond, so we can respond quickly. Corticosteroids decrease muscle protein production, so it can decrease the muscle protein production and decrease the ability of the muscle to produce muscle energy in an effective manner. It can also decrease the ability of muscle to produce a efficient energy in an effective manner. Participating in a journal exercise program that includes aerobic exercise, it comes swimming and running and all, and resistive training means your daily yoga training appears to improve muscle. It can improve if you are taking these types of medication. You have to go for aerobic or a resistive training. It appears to improve your muscle function and decrease the adverse effect of muscles. So another side effect of immunosuppressant medication is hyperglycemia. Oh, shit. Hyperglycemia is a high blood sugar and a secondary diabetes because they may alter the way your body manages glucose. So the and other side effect of these immunosuppressant medications are hyperglycemia. Hyperglycemia is a high blood sugar, and then secondary is diabetes because they may alter the way of your body manage glucose. It can alter the way of your body, which you the way your body manages the glucose, means the sugar. It is important to a routinely checkup of your blood sugar and work closely with an endocrinologist to establish an effective medication regimen to maintain stable blood sugar level that is close normal to 80 to 120 mg/dl. Exercise can help lower your blood sugar. As we all know, exercise can help and lower our blood sugar and possibly decrease medication requirements. In this paragraph we will see it is important to check your blood sugar level daily, and the normal value of blood sugar is 80 to 120 dl. And what we have seen about the side effects: first is osteoporosis, second is decrease in muscle function, hyperglycemia, and decrease sorry increase in blood sugar level, that is diabetes. So there are some contraindication of the immunosuppressant drugs. So the first is uh, contraindication means the drugs which are not allowed to given if the patient is having or undergoing these disease, or we cannot say disease. These are the conditions in which the patient undergoes, and then the immunosuppressant drugs are not allowed. So the first one is a bad infection. If the patient is having any bad infection, means any bad infection means the infection lying from many days, so the immunosuppressant drugs are not for them. Cancer or malignancy, high amount of triglyceride in blood, hemolytic urine syndrome. It is a condition that affects the kidney and the blood anemia. Then decreased blood platelets, low level of white blood cell, means if your immunity is very low. Liver problems, related to liver problem, acute kidney failure, a clot in an artery of kidney, visible water reduction, ascites, elevation of protein in the urine, impaired wound healing, pregnancy, a mother who is producing milk and breastfeeding means a lactating mother, malignant lymphoma, a blood clot in a liver after a liver transplantation. If okay, it's fine that we will give these medicines after the organ transplantation. In organ we can see liver, heart or kidney, but if there is a blood clot, clot, so we cannot allow the patient to take these medicines, because these medicines are of very these medicines are very powerful, and it has many side effects, and the adverse effect of medicine, so it can harm to the immune system as well as to the new organ and to the body also. Then heart transplantation, liver or if there is a blood clot in liver after liver transplantation, and heart after the heart transplantation. So kidney problem due to BK polymavirus. It is a type of virus, and there is one allergy also, that is macrolide immunosuppressant. Macrolide is a sorry. Uh, Macrolide is a immunosuppressant drug, which is also comes under the induction drug. If the patient is having that allergy, you cannot allow the patient to give this medicine. So, at last, the conclusion is immunosuppressants are the essential for the successful organ transplantation and the treatment of many autoimmune disorders. So, they suppress rejection and dampen the autoimmune process, but they also lead to the undesired consequences of immunodeficiency, such as infection or malignancy. Malignancy means the cancer, and not immune and non-immune toxic, toxic toxicity. So immunosuppressants are essential for the successful organ transplantation. As we all know, there are two types of, first one is induction and the next one is maintenance. So what we can do, these are the very important essential medicines or drugs which we can choose after for the successful transplantation and the treatment of many autoimmune disorders. They suppress some of the autoimmune disorders. Um, some of the There are many autoimmune disorders, like all are related, like lower of WBCs in our body. So but they also lead to the undesirable consequences of immunodeficiency also, such as infection or cancer, because it have a at it is having the more adverse effect than the advantages. So at last, first we can see the summary. So what we will see in the introduction of the top of the immunosuppressant, then types, classification, how to use, how to remember the medicines, then what are the side effects, what are the contraindication are the of the medicines, and at last we see the conclusion of the topic. So bibliography, I have not used any specific book for this, and these are some of the websites which I have used for gathering the content of this topic, but I have used some PDFs also. If you want, you can uh, go in comment section and tell me. So thank you guys for listening this, and I think it will help you. So thank you once again. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay blessed.